The director called cut 3 times, but my celebrity husband was still locked in a passionate kiss with his childhood sweetheart. As his assistant, I kindly reminded them, but the childhood sweetheart burst into tears, claiming she was too deep into the role. In front of the entire crew, my husband scolded me, saying that my eyes and heart were so dirty that I saw filth in everything. That night, the paparazzi caught the two of them entering and leaving a 5-star hotel together. In the past, I would have been devastated, obsessing over him and scrambling to handle the PR crisis while crying. But this time, I realized our 5-year secret marriage was utterly meaningless. Part 2. From the living room, I could smell Agnes's signature perfume on him. "Sienna, don't you have anything to say?" he asked frantically. His expression was serious, and his cold gaze fixed on me. His eyes were just like that poisonous snake I had fought for my life with on the mountain. He scolded me. "Do you realize what you've done is going to greatly impact Agnes's career? There are paparazzi swarming outside her house right now, and she can't even go out, casually eating potato chips and watching anime." I didn't even look up. Isn't this exactly what the fans wanted? It's also perfect promotion for the new drama. I made this decision after weighing the pros and cons, I said calmly. Those were the same words Jacob had said to me 2 years ago. At that time, Agnes was filming a scene where the heroine falls off a cliff, her first role in the entertainment industry. Just before filming, Agnes tearfully told Jacob that she was afraid of heights. In order not to delay the progress of the shooting and make the scene realistic, Jacob didn't hesitate to have me put on Agnes's costume and act as her stunt double, jumping off a cliff more than 10 meters high without any safety precautions. Agnes said the crew had set up safety measures at the bottom of the cliff. "Sienna, what are you hesitating for?" he said. "But, Jacob, I'm afraid of heights too." I trembled as I clung to Jacob's arm, only for him to shake me off coldly. He insisted, "How come I never noticed you were so difficult before? Now that Agnes is here, suddenly you're scared of heights. Are you just putting on an act, Sienna?" "But I really am afraid," I sobbed. He scolded me. "Enough with the buts. Sienna, let me tell you, I'm doing this after weighing the pros and cons." With those words, Jacob didn't hesitate to push me off the cliff. That scene didn't even show my face in the close-up. Even now, Agnes's fan base still praises her dedication to her craft, saying she never uses stunt doubles for the sake of authenticity. Thanks to that scene, Agnes became one of the most beloved actresses in the entertainment industry. And me? After being pushed off a cliff without any safety measures by Jacob, I broke my right leg and spent more than half a year in the hospital. During my entire hospital stay, Jacob only visited me once, and that was because Agnes had been scratched by her pet cat, and he had brought her to the hospital to get her finger bandaged. Even though my room was just next to Agnes's, Jacob wouldn't set foot inside, afraid it might dirty his shoes. At this moment, Jacob was speechless, blocked by my words. Silently, I pulled out the divorce papers I had prepared in advance, placed them on the coffee table and calmly said, "Jacob, let's get a divorce." Hearing my words, Jacob froze on the spot, staring at me blankly. "What did you say, Sienna?" I took out a pen, signed the divorce papers one by one, and used lipstick to make my fingerprint before pushing the papers in front of Jacob. I said, "I want a divorce." I said it again. Jacob tugged at his collar and frowned. "Sienna, are you out of your mind? Who would want you, a middle-aged woman, after leaving me?" So in Jacob's eyes, I, a woman who had just turned 30, was already considered middle-aged. I tossed the pen at him. I replied, "Haven't you heard the saying, a woman blossoms at 30? But Jacob, you should know that after the divorce, I won't be your assistant anymore. You'll need to give me a few days to hand over your recent work schedule to the new assistant." My straightforwardness earned a mocking laugh from Jacob. He pointed at me with one hand, his eyes filled with impatience. "Sienna, you're playing with fire and you're going to get burned." Just as he finished speaking, Agnes's distinctive ringtone started playing. Jacob didn't answer. Instead, he looked at me with a threatening gaze. He started to mock me. "Didn't you always say you wanted to have a baby before turning 30? I know you're ovulating these days. Sienna, I'm giving you 3 seconds to take back what you just said. Last year I made a birthday wish on my 29th birthday, turning my ovulation days into a scheduled task for Jacob and me to fulfill our marital duties. But Jacob didn't know that I had stopped ovulating since last month." The ringtone echoed in the living room like a ticking time bomb. 3 seconds later, the last remaining connection between Jacob and me exploded into pieces. "Sienna, you've got guts. Let's see if you can stay this tough forever." With those words, he stormed out of the villa. As soon as the door slammed shut, I picked up my phone and scheduled an abortion for the day after tomorrow. Lying on the operating table, the doctor glanced at the ultrasound and tried to persuade me. "Miss Hubert, your baby is developing well. Are you sure you don't want to discuss this with the father?" At the same time, a notification for a trending post popped up on my phone. It was a video clip from the previous night's film festival. When the camera zoomed in on Jacob and Agnes sitting together, they exchanged several shy glances, their lips curling into smiles. It wasn't until Agnes, gathering her courage in front of the crowd and the cameras, kissed Jacob that he grabbed the back of her neck with one hand, bringing her close to his throat. The deafening screams in the video suddenly stopped when I closed it. I accidentally clicked on a high-definition photo taken by one of the on-site reporters, and there on Jacob's Adam's apple, I noticed a pair of small bite marks. On our wedding night, when Jacob was still just a stand-in actor, he pressed me down on the bed and teased me harshly. He held my head and urged me to bite his protruding Adam's apple, his low voice still echoing in my ears. "Sienna, bite me." Only when my teeth sank into his skin did Jacob finally hold me close, repeatedly kissing the top of my head. he said. It really hurts. It's not a dream. Sienna, I really married you. Back then, Jacob truly saw me as his unreachable goddess. Locking my phone, I put it away and closed my eyes, saying to the doctor, "Go ahead, doctor." It wasn't as painful as I had imagined. In fact, after the surgery, I felt an overwhelming sense of relief. The next morning, after being discharged from the hospital, I met with my new assistant at a nearby cafe. To make sure the assistant wouldn't be bullied, I specifically chose a male assistant. After finalizing all the details, I began signing the contract with Maxwell Phoenix. "Sienna, why are you quitting? Jacob is so nice. You have no idea how many people would kill for a chance to be his assistant," he said. I smiled slightly. "I'm getting old. This job is more suited to young people like you who have the drive." Maxwell looked at me with a mixture of understanding and confusion, regret and admiration flickering in his eyes. He said, "But I don't think you're old at all. You've been with Jacob through thick and thin, from his obscure days to his fame. You've worked so hard. You're such a good assistant." I gave him a faint smile and packed the signed contract into my bag. "Maybe, Maxwell, I wish you a bright future and smooth sailing." After dealing with the assistant, I drove home. To my surprise, Jacob, who was supposed to be filming in a neighboring city, was sitting on the sofa. He looked at me, his eyes bloodshot and his voice cold when he said, "Sienna, where were you last night? What does it matter to you?" I asked back. I changed my shoes and headed straight to the bedroom. In the past, when Jacob stayed out countless nights, I would ask him the same question. I even called his friends one by one, trying to find out where he was. Sometimes they would cover for him and other times, an irritated Jacob would grab the phone and curse at me directly. "Sienna, where I go has nothing to do with you. I'm an adult. I have my own privacy. Can you stop meddling in my business?" While I endured his insults, I would think of ways to apologize to him, hoping he would drink less. But while I was filled with concern, what I heard on the other end of the phone was Agnes's soft voice. "Jacob, come dance with me." Before I could even remind him, Jacob would hang up the phone in a hurry. Now, hearing me give him the same answer, Jacob stiffened and followed me into the bedroom. He threw 2 photos onto my face, his eyes red with fury. "Sienna, what's your relationship with him?